What's up guys, Thomas here, back with another Tech Tip Tuesday, and today we're going to be installing the Sequential fourth brake light from Valenti. Now a lot of guys have been asking for this video, and it's probably due to how terrible the instructions are that come in the box. So go ahead and throw this away and follow along. All right, so these are all the tools you're gonna need for this install. You're gonna need a 10 mil socket and an 8 mil socket. You also need a 10 mil wrench. You'll need a flathead screwdriver, a little pick that we're gonna use to depen a harness. It's best to use wire strippers, but if you don't have that, pliers will work, the ones with wire cutters here. And then you're gonna need some sort of like way to test a connection. So this little volt tester or like a full-fledged voltmeter, and then you'll need a pocket knife as well, or just some knife to cut into some harnesses. The first step is gonna be removing the trunk liner. Then you're going to need to remove this piece. There's a few clips that hold it in. I've already got those done. And then this side panel here. And if you're taking the side off on the driver's side, there is a little connection here. You're going to need it unplugged, so make sure you don't rip that out. Now in the center of the trunk, you're going to find this plug right here. We're going to undo this. This is going to be your factory reverse light. In our case, it's a aftermarket Valenti one, so it'll look like this minus the red wire. And then we're gonna funnel that through the hole here and pull the whole stock or aftermarket Valenti fourth brake light out. Now the only thing holding the old light assembly on are gonna be two 10mm bolts on the top, and then two pop clips, one on the left and one on the right. Now we're gonna bolt in the new Valenti the same exact way, just in reverse obviously, and then we're gonna take the smaller harness, because there's two, there's a big one, a little one. The little one is the 3-pin, and we're gonna shove that up the same hole that we just removed the old wiring harness out of. Now when you're feeding this harness into that hole, you're gonna want to make sure that you go over the exhaust here and make sure that nothing's hanging out. It's gonna touch the exhaust pipe and then melt, because that would be a terrible day. So next, we're gonna need to route the second harness. This is the bigger one that goes to the control module that has a little knob that you can change all the different sequential features, but this isn't waterproof, that's why it's going in the trunk, otherwise it'd get all wet and stuff. So this is gonna be routed through the little vent, the trunk vent on the side, and to get to that, we're gonna have to kind of crack open the bumper to get access to that, because it's incredibly difficult if you don't get a little access by just unbolting a few things. So you don't have to take the bumper off completely, just take the taillight out. There's a little bolt here on the side next to the taillight you have to undo. And there's gonna be one pop clip in the fender well that you need to push in that pop clip. There's a little pin that'll release. And then there's 3 pop clips underneath the bumper. And then with a little tugging, you can get a little, you can wedge your hand into the bumper. Now to get this thing routed in, you're first need to remove the harness from the module itself, and then you're gonna route this in the same area that you routed the 3-pin harness, but it's gonna be going through the vent. So you're gonna kind of have to wiggle this around and get it through the vent flaps, making sure that the harness doesn't get pinched by anything when you reinstall the bumper. Once you get it through the trunk, then you can reconnect the control module, and we're gonna be placing it back here, kind of behind the rear strut tower, kind of where there's a little extra space there, and then we're gonna tuck the rest of the wires in. Now, all the wires are in place. We just need to now tap into the brake lines of the taillights, and that's, in our case, going to be the green wire. I've got the brake pedal depressed here, and you can see that this is the only connection that the brake light is going on. So we're gonna be tapping into the green wire. However, maybe cars might be different on some years, and we just haven't seen them. So I would just double check that to make sure you test yours before you just tap into a green wire, because Maybe they ran out of green for like 2015 and they made it like blue. I don't know. So the process of tapping the Valenti 3-pin harness to the brake light, the harness, and the tail light is pretty simple. First, we're going to disconnect the battery so you don't get electrocuted. Then we're going to depin the blue wire that's in the center of the Valenti 3-pin harness. Once that's depinned, we'll make a little incision halfway through the harness, and then we'll pull out that blue wire. We'll cut the end off, strip the wire, and then crimp on a male connector. Now over at the taillight side on that harness, we'll find the green taillight wire, which is the brake wire. We'll pull away some of that electrical tape so we can see it, and then we can connect the T-tap connection. And all we have to do is plug those two in and test if it works. Now the only thing left to do is to tie down the excess harness underneath the bumper with the 2 zip ties that are included in the kit. And other than that, the control module, how that works is the white knob, which controls the different sequential features. There's like 10, as well as just a constant on if you just want to use like a normal 4th brake light. And then the yellow screw up here will change the duration of each cycle. So you can have a cycle really fast or super duper slow. And right now you can save 10% off on these Valenti 4th brake lights by using the code SPRINGCLEAN. That's going to be going down till the end of February. So just code SPRINGCLEAN, that'll save you 10% off on one of these. And remember that we're doing a live Q&A for the first hour of every YouTube video. So write in the comment sections, I will be there in the first hour monitoring them, answering your questions and whatever. If you have any other questions, feel free to send us an email at sales@ft86speedfactory.com. This is Thomas, and I'll see you guys in the next video. What's up, guys? Thomas from Thomas here, back from the Detective Tuesday. All right.